Well, race one of the BP Ultimate Sydney Super Sprint has been run and done and won. And it all happened up here. We saw the champagne sprayed. Matt Nolte, my very special live from the fast lane powered by the garage guest tonight.
It's
Thank
been
you for
too
joining
long.
me.
Way too long, Bryony. It's great to be here. You can still smell the champagne from down here in Victory Lane. Is it a bit weird to finish in daylight? We've had night races the last two weekends, and now we're finishing at dusk. But what a race we had today.
Yes, exactly. So it was Anton De Pasquale taking another race win here. I think that's 4 from the 3 weekends so far. He's on fire, and it is really shaping to be an awesome battle between himself and Shane Van Gisbergen for the Beaurepaire Sydney Cup, because the points at the top of that quite close between the two of them. So we're going to see how that pans out. And Anton obviously was first, Shane Van Gisbergen second, and Will Brown third. But as we take a walk down here, there was a couple of really good stories to come out of today. Also some hard luck ones, there always is, but one you particularly wanted to mention.
Yeah, we give a lot of love to the top end, and rightly so, that we talk about the Shell V-Power team, Red Bull Ampol Racing, but it's this 35 car that did a fantastic job here today. Zane Goddard, 10 positions he made up during that race, and if you look around, it's got the usual battle damage, but if you recall, he was great in the first qualifying session today, so it was no fluke. But to make up 10 positions like that in this quality of field, very, very impressive.
And you know what? I've just spotted him.
Shall we go in?
You know what? We're just going to barge in here, because that's what we do on Live from the Fast Lane, Nolts. We just rock in unannounced.
He'll love this.
And he could not be happier to speak to us. Hey, congratulations. That was a ripper drive today. You happy?
Yeah, no, super happy. Obviously, it's been a difficult 3 weeks for the team and myself. So, yeah, to get that result was definitely needed, and, yeah, pretty stoked about it. Just got to have a strong day tomorrow and then, yeah, tick off a good weekend.
A lot of drivers talking about the difference in temperature from, you know, the last couple of weekends to today. How has that factored into performance?
I haven't noticed the temperature too much. I've noticed the wind a lot more. Obviously, we had a mad headwind into turn 1, so I think compared to last week, our minimum corner speed's way up. So, yeah, you notice that, and then you get tailwinds at other corners, so that's messing the balance around, but I think we've definitely made a gain, so, yeah, I'm happy about it.
Super. Well, as long as the wind is coming from the racetrack and not from anyone in your garage, that's the most important thing, right? What's the plan overnight? What do you do? Because we've got 2 big races tomorrow. So just talk us through recovery and getting ready for 2 races tomorrow.
Yeah, so I've been lucky. I've actually partnered up with Hyperice, so they focus on recovery gear. So I have Normatec boots and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'll just sit on the couch and be a potato and let them do their magic. So yeah, that's all I'll do, and just a good feed. But the weather's not too hot, so it's pretty easy on the body.
How tempting is it when you've got a weekend like this, when there's Formula One going on, there's so much motorsport around the world? I mean, you probably need to rest, but also you kind of want to keep an eye on what's going on, particularly in Brazil with the Formula One champ.
Yeah, Brazil for sure, but also the MotoGP. Yeah. It's obviously Valentino's last weekend, so yeah, that's obviously a big deal. I think for everyone, that's sort of an icon of motor racing in general, so it's going to be weird seeing him hang up the boots. So yeah, definitely going to be watching on Sunday. But yeah, Brazil as well, close title fight. So yeah, a lot of good motorsport going on.
All right, we'll let you go rest and recover. Good job today. Look forward to seeing what you can do tomorrow. Matt, let's take a look at some of the highlights from this race.
He brings up a very good point too. We'll get to that in a minute. The highlights of today's race. It started off wild here, as it always does. What about the start here between the Red Bull car and the Shell car? For James Courtney, this moment, over 180 k's an hour, getting unloaded, whacking all the polystyrene signs in the process, made it for a tough day for the Boost Mobile team.
Yes, and then of course, you know, as we saw out the front again, the 2 Red Bull Ampol Racing drivers battling it out. Gee, that it's spirited between the 2, isn't it? It was great to see.
Yeah, there's heat there, and that's what it should be like in these kind of conditions. But it's these 2 guys now, De Pasquale and Van Gisbergen. De Pasquale just motored on by the 97. As much as he tried to hold him off, he couldn't resist the number 11 car. They've just found that sweet spot once again, and from that point, trouble here though for Bryce Ford. That was an alternator that was failing on the number 2 car. He's frustrated with that because the car was half okay to that point.
And then we see some contact here between Tickford Racing teammates Jack LeBrock and Cam Waters. I think we heard from Tim Edwards in the telecast, and he said it wasn't Jack's fault at all. He'd been given some help into the back of Cam Waters, but that's so disappointing for Cam, because obviously he's in the running for the championship. And then Jack Smith having a bit of a departure off into the grass. Then this pass here, how good. Will Brown taking the final podium position from Jamie Whincup, and the team are wrapped, and so they should be.
You could actually hear that from 4 or 5 garages down. It got him up onto a podium spot there. So Brown got home for 3rd, Van Gisbergen 2nd. And of course, Anton picking up another win here today. Of course, we talked to Zane Goddard just a few moments ago there. 10 places he made up today. Got to say a big shout out too to Tim Slade and to Scott Pye. They made up 7 positions. We get out the team's way here. Make our way back out onto most of these cars that are in Parc Ferme now, so they can't touch them until their signs have been pulled off. A lot of cars have gone into the weighbridge, the scales area, to make sure they meet all the requirements. And that's the stuff you don't tend to see. It's not a case of just parking the cars up, walking away, and we'll come back tomorrow. It's a completely different ball game, and the teams will be here. So for them, it's an easier night because it's not going to be late.
No, I think the paddock closes at about 10 p.m. local time. So
way past your bedtime.
Whoa. Yes, exactly. But we have got a huge day of action tomorrow. 2 races. So we go qualifying in the morning. Then we have 2 32-lap races.
Yes.
So it's a very condensed schedule. And it's going to be super exciting. And all the action starts on Fox Sports 506 from 11 a.m. local time. You don't want to miss it. Let's give a shout out, though, also to the support categories. Haven't they entertained us this weekend?
I've got to say, I've said this during the broadcast, all the New South Wales support categories have helped us out. From a club level, they've come with maximum grids.
Yep.
They've turned on some great racing. But the V8 Super Utes, I think, hit their sweet spot today in that first race. That wasn't the reverse grid race. That was race number 1. Their top 50 comes up tomorrow as the very first race of the day. So they've moved this new V8 formula, which has worked already. They just need a few more cars now. They've got the names out there. The Biff and Barge is coming back slowly. Thought race number 1 today was their best so far.
Yeah, plenty of reasons to tune in tomorrow to Fox Sports 506. Catch all the action. We'll catch you early tomorrow morning, live from the Fast Lane. Bye for now.